just embarrassed, bro, because like I had like my arm was full bleeding, and I was just drowsy and shit. I was like, fuck, I'm actually gonna die. And I sort of gambled my life on the day. Like before I like got in my car, I was like, you know what? If I die, then like life is telling me like I have no purpose. But like if I live, like I have a purpose. I just need to find it.
Welcome to the Ice Project. Welcome to the Ice Project.
All right, guys. Hey guys, welcome back to the Ice Project. Today I'm joined by former staff member, and I'm just going to give him his flowers straight away. Someone I'm super proud of. I come through the YKTR system, the media machine, and left and's gone on to do some great things. And the best thing about it and the scariest thing about it, he's only 19 years old. So I'm going to be talking about his journey. There's going to be talks of sort of mental health and suicide. But first and foremost, bro, I'm super proud of you, man. Honestly,
I appreciate that, bro.
Makes me so happy. So
I appreciate that, man.
yeah,
It all started here, huh?
yeah, it all started. No, you were skilled. You were skilled anyway. So I think you're always going to make it. I think it just made it a little bit quicker. So, Caleb, introduce yourself.
Yeah, so Caleb Coroneos, 19 years old. Bro, I wouldn't even see you as a boss back in the day. I thought like you were more of a mentor. Like we used to have like all those deep chats and stuff. And like, I remember asking you, I like asked you what keeps you motivated? And you always told me discipline. I didn't realize at the time. Most of the things you said, I didn't realize. And then as I get older, like I'm starting to realize what you meant. So
I appreciate that, bro. I really do. So what are you up to now, bro? What are you up to?
bro, right now, just like teaching people, like I got my own university where I teach people videography and like how to make money freelancing and like get out of the 9-to-5, stuff like that.
Yep.
Cause like a lot of people aren't happy with their job. So like I'm genuinely trying to help people like make more money and just be more creative. Like videography is such a good space now where you can literally film anything. Like you can film pets, architecture, real estate, anything. So like, yeah, bro, just trying to help as many people as I can. Cause a lot of people are lost and like photos and videos are literally on your phone, and I'm teaching people how to make money on your phone and stuff like that. So I'm doing that at the moment. I've got my Ticophobia podcast, which means fear of failure. Basically got Mitchell, Sultana, and Chloe Trinity.
So ticophobia means you got a fear of failure. Is that an actual phobia?
It's actually a phobia,
cool.
yeah. So I found it on TikTok, bro. I was like, yeah, I got this.
That's a cool name. That's a cool name. Yeah, give that here.
I'm going to do clothing too.
Yeah, cool.
Try to copy Essentials a bit.
Yeah, 100%. Oh, let us. Obviously, you know,
Yeah,
if you ever need help anyway. So, yeah. So, bro, obviously, people know who you are now and what you're doing, bro. Tell us about your upbringing. Tell us about growing up out west.
Yeah, bro. Fuck. It's always been like it's always good to be born out west, I reckon, because living in the east, I feel like you're more privileged. I feel like if you start at rock bottom, there's more of like a drive and a purpose than growing up with like a privilege, I guess. But yeah, bro, it's good. I just live with my dad and my brother. I've got my 2 dogs. Life at home now is like amazing, like helping dad out, like just helping like my old teachers out and stuff like that. Like my school actually hit me up and they asked me to talk, like do a whole speech in front of the school.
Oh, cool.
Bro, it freaked me out. I was like, fuck.
So you've done the speech already?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay.
I'm going away, so
yeah,
when I get back, I'll do it. But like in front of the whole school, bro. And you know me, like, I'm a shy kid.
I can see you on stage, bro, just going.
Just shaking.
Yeah.
No, but yeah, bro. Like it's just opportunities. Like, bro, honestly, everything I learned was from you, and like networking was such a big thing. Like, you might not know this, but I listen really well, and most things you did say back in the day, I literally like wrote down and took it to heart. So like everything I'm doing now is like networking, being like mates with everyone. Cause like with business, like you would know if the more mates you're with, like the more friends you have in the business, like the easier it is for you.
Yeah.
It's just all connections.
Oh, for sure. When did you first pick up a camera?
Oh, fuck. When I was 10 years old, bro.
What kind of camera do you have?
I've got a Canon R5.
What, when you were a kid?
Oh, sorry. I used the iPad back in the day.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and the iPods.
What made you pick up a camera? Were you watching YouTube vlogs or?
No, so me and my family is like, me and my brother and my cousins, we used to play Call of Duty a lot. So we'd do like little POVs, like we'd sticky tape to our chest. But I'll tell you a funny story, bro. Like, I don't know if I've told you this before, but when I was younger, me and my best friend used to film. And we filmed a video where like it was called an agent movie, whatever it is. So basically like in the last scene, we're going to make my mate die in the video. Anyway, we filmed it, set it up. We made like a box car to like replicate a car. And like basically I hit him with the car in the scene. And a week later, he died the same way. Like got hit by a car. So
I remember the first time you told me that. That's how old are you here?
I was 10.
So so your best mate, you guys are filming. You've replicated that and it ended up happening.
Yeah, so that's why I love video so much, bro, because like it genuinely has so much meaning to me. Like I remember you always telling me like what's your purpose and like what's your why and shit, and like bro, that's legit my why. Like the fact that a week later my mate died, and the fact that like I always wanted to work for you and I did, the fact that I wanted to meet Tate and I did, it's like all through like just the camera. Like
It's crazy. You got to think like creativity, like a lot of the world's coming to you guys. So I reckon about 4 or 5 years ago, like you would have had to be like a content creator going out searching for jobs. Now the world's coming to you, and like you're at the perfect age to take advantage of that. But that must have been sad losing your friend at 10 years old.
yeah, it was tough. I remember at the time, like when my dad told me, like I've never seen my dad cry, bro, and that was the first time I seen him cry. And my brother was playing GTA at the time as well, so he's like killing people and shit. So I was like, fuck, like
Just saying it, yeah.
yeah. And then mentally, bro, since like the age of 10, because I went through a lot of trauma when I was a kid, but like since my mate died, like I was just suicidal from the age of 10. My first attempt of suicide was I think 11 or 12 years old.
How'd you do it?
Oh, bro, just like I looked up, there was a game called Dumb Ways to Die. Like it was literally a cartoon, and I would like try to figure out how they die. So like putting a fork in a toaster and shit. Like there's been so many times, but yeah, bro, I feel like that's my purpose, just to film and stuff like that.
It's pretty sad that you've had those sort of thoughts at 11 years old, 10 years old, and obviously there's a lot of trauma that wasn't dealt with at the time, and obviously we felt some of that within the business when you were here. Are you starting to deal with some of that trauma now? Are you starting to talk about it now, or does this podcast like when I heard you started to like I knew your story and I knew what had happened, and to see the microcosm of you like talking about it, sort of made me not I wouldn't say happy, but I just felt relieved. You know what I mean? Just that you felt comfortable in a space where you were open to talking about it. So where you at right now with that type of stuff?
Fuck, bro, I definitely didn't feel comfortable doing it, especially like a video of me screaming in the car. Like I filmed all of that last year, and like you, Simi, like no one would have known that. But I basically filmed like the whole suicidal process, and I'm making a documentary on it. I basically like filmed like, remember that day I come in telling you I wanted to quit?
Yeah.
And I was like freaking out and shit, and you were doing the podcast? Yeah, so.
That was in this room we had that chat. Yeah. Fuck, I remember like trying to hug you, bro, and just I remember like how like you.
I was just shaking, bro.
Yeah, I'd never seen someone have an anxiety attack like right in front of me, and it was like just having this conversation. I remember like trying to grab you and hold you, be like fucking low-key strong as fuck. I was like, fuck, this guy's strong, but it was so scary to see someone like in that state and just how tense you were, bro, and just like scratching your arms and stuff. And like I never experienced something like that too. And bro, that was scary, bro. And I can't imagine what it's like going through it. Like,
that was a problem, bro. Like I used to scratch my arm that much. Like I used to cut myself just with my nails.
Yeah.
And in high school, because I went to an all-boys school, like I got bullied a lot for like being suicidal. I saw one of the boys yesterday, one of the Islanders, and he's like, fuck, I thought you were like suicidal and that. Now you're killing it. It's like, fuck, you just haven't changed, bro. But it just shows like, bro, fuck what people say and like fuck what people think at the end of the day. So,
do you know what my favorite things about you, Caleb? Like I know, like I'm great to see you in this positive state, but my favorite thing about you is like one, you were a quick learner, but like the most lovable thing about you is this emotional kid, you know what I mean? And now you're sort of leaning into it. You used to sort of try and hide. It must have been a hard environment to come into YKTR. And I remember your first day. I remember your first day here sitting in my office, and you're just sort of like shaking, bro. Like I'll ask you a question, you couldn't talk, and like a lot of us, quite big personalities and egos too. Like obviously I've got one, and Simi was here at the time. He's got one. Scope was just a big lovable uncle that everyone loved, and I don't know. What was it like coming into YKTR at the time?
Well, like, bro, like, I looked up to you guys, especially you. Like, I watched all your videos in school and stuff, and I just left school. So I was, like, freelancing for a year. And, like, I'd still watch your vlogs and stuff and your podcast. So when me and Scope were outside, I was walking in, I saw the whole building. I was like, fuck, I've never seen shit like this before. Yeah. Now I'm, like, comfortable seeing, like, famous people and shit because, like, I've been through it.
Bit of a difference between Andrew Tate and me too.
But like, you just like, at the end of the day, you're all human. And I didn't realize at the time, like I thought you were like some fucking special guy because it's like through a screen. Yeah, and you were one of the first to vlog. And yeah, bro, I just remember walking in, like saw Lukey, I saw Jacka, I saw everyone. I was like, what the fuck? Like, is this real? And bro, I was just shaking. And then when you like sat me down in your office, I couldn't even think. Like,
I forgot what I asked you, but I just remember you just sitting there going like, you couldn't even I was like, fuck. What's
going on? I remember you being like, bro, you're freaking me out. Like,
yeah.
Shit, I'm freaking myself out.
He was like, yeah, can you guys, so what was the first thing you filmed here? Bacon and egg roll review?
Yeah, straight away.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, so it was good.
Just break the bread a bit.
Yeah. What'd you learn while you're at YKTR? What were some of the good things that you learned?
Bro, honestly, like a lot. Like, if I didn't have this job, I would have like had a good future no matter what. But like being here, like I got to film every day, which most videographers don't get. The amount of connections you gave me, like the amount of people I've met, like all the NRL boys, like Jade Spooner, like a lot of like people like that, even G'd Up. Like you just like sort of showed me how to be confident and network and stuff like that. Like I was never a shy kid. I was just shy around you boys because like I looked up to you and it was like, you guys are 30 and I was like 17 at the time. I was 16 turning 17 and then it was just weird for me. But,
Yeah, so fuck, it was a crazy time. And obviously I didn't, like, when you first come in, and I remember our first chat that we had, I was asking about your parents, and we were in Lunatiques down there, and I just remember you like talking about your upbringing and you and your dad going for a like tough time. I think it was like the third day you're here, and I know you're on an internship, but I remember just going, oh, this guy's, I remember I said this to you, I was like, fuck, you come into my life for a reason, and like I want to help you as quick as I can. And fuck, we just had a bit of a good time ever since from there.
You did a good job, bro. You did a good job.
Yeah. So yeah, what were some of the bad things you learned from working at YKTR?
This is what people don't see behind the scenes, but fuck, the environment here was like so up and down. Like I remember those times like where like we were meant to film shit, but like everyone was just so lazy. And it's like, as a creative, like it's frustrating. I don't know what it's like for you, but like when you want to do something, you just want to do it, but then like everyone's on different wavelengths.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, like I feel like there was too much rumors going around. It's a bit toxic. Like, yeah, I don't know. I feel like we're all close. Like we're all mates at the time. And like we went like New Year's in Byron, like we all just like got closer and closer. And then after that, I think we just like, I don't know, it just like got so up and down. Like the boys just started talking shit about each other. And
yeah, that was like the hard part, because obviously like at the start it was all fun and we're doing great things, and then like I'll just hear different things from different people, and like I was just trying to like manage it all at the same time. It just got like really confusing, eh?
Yeah, exactly.
And a lot of stuff that was getting like, it used to feel like high school, like a little bit.
It did.
Yeah, I think my biggest regret in those sort of phases, one, like I was too emotionally attached to everyone. Like I wanted to help everyone. And obviously, like, there was a lot of drama that happened behind the scenes. Obviously, you were going through your stuff, and two of the other boys were. So we're just trying to manage everyone. And I was just trying to keep everyone happy. And
honestly,
it just didn't work, eh?
Everything was crazy. Like, even now, it's always crazy here. Like, it's never chill. Like, there's always shit happening. Like, everyone, like, I remember me, Simi, and Jacko went through stuff, and, like, everything was just, like, all at once.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
So let's talk about the night when you went to commit suicide and you were here.
Yeah, so this is my first time talking about it, but like I'm glad we're doing it on this. But yeah, bro, basically the night, like, fuck, bro, you just feel so alone. Like, it's hard to explain. Like, I know I'm not alone, but when you're depressed, it feels like you're just in like complete darkness, and it feels like you're just like, I don't know, like, you know when you like dive into ocean or like dive into water and you're just like swimming and you're by yourself. It's just quiet.
Yeah.
It's just like that, bro. And like, I remember like my dad was asleep. Oh no, my dad wasn't home, and I was just in the shower having shower thoughts. And bro, like I overthink a lot, and like bro, I just remember like all my past thoughts kept happening. I couldn't sleep. Remember, like I would always rock up late, and I genuinely couldn't sleep, and I still can't sleep now. And like I need to get it checked out, but yeah, I just couldn't sleep at the time, and I was just like always stressed out.
Yeah.
And basically like I just started hallucinating and just started like actually like physically seeing like my mom and like my best friend and like other people that have like passed away in my life, and like I could honestly hear them and speak to them. And I would go for runs like every night because I couldn't sleep. I'd be editing, go for a run, come home. And I just remember the night I did try killing myself, I was in the shower, I had all these thoughts, and I was like, fuck, like I actually just don't want to be alive. Like no one was messaging me. I was by myself. So I just like got in my car. I, for some reason, bring my camera. I was like, fuck, I'm just going to like film it all and then just like make a little video for my dad. And yeah, bro, I just started filming in the car, just screaming. Basically like showing what it's like. Cause I have schizophrenia now.
Yeah.
I remember. Yeah. So, it's basically like just showing like all my emotions. Like, I don't know, just like, you're so like built up.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And like the only way for me that like could release my demons was just like screaming, either like self-harming or like on that night I tried like using tablets to overdose. So yeah, bro, I was just in the car, like just like I had my headphones on, just listening to my saddest music, and I was like, fuck, like I actually don't want to be here. Like I felt like I had no purpose and shit. Like I forgot about everything. I didn't care about anyone. It was just like me, myself, and that was it. And basically I just got like a little blade from like a pocket knife, started like slicing my wrist. And then I like got Panadol, like a whole packet of Panadol, Nurofen, and it was like some pain relief thing that can only take one of because it's like really bad for you. And I remember just putting it all into a container. I just took it, and bro, straight away I like knew I fucked up, and like my heart started like racing and shit. And I remember messaging my friend Liv at the time. I was like, oh, fuck, please pick me up. She didn't answer, so I like was waiting like 10 minutes, bro, and I like started like to daze out and shit. And I messaged her. I was like, fuck, you need to come. And she finally picked up. Her and her mum picked me up, took me to the hospital. And bro, I was just embarrassed, bro, because like I had like my arm was full bleeding, and I was just drowsy and shit. I was like, fuck, I'm actually gonna die. And I sort of gambled my life on the day. Like before I like got in my car, I was like, you know what? If I die, then like life is telling me like I have no purpose. But like if I live, like I have a purpose. I just need to find it. And I remember when I was in the hospital, bro, I was like fucking hours just by myself, and it was like a dark room. I just like heard all these sick people and like just coughing and like nearly dying and shit. And I was just sitting there by myself because my phone died. And I was like, fuck, like I'm still alive. Like maybe I do have a purpose. And then like the next morning, my phone finally charged, and I messaged you straight away, bro, because I didn't want to mess with my dad.
I remember when you rang me, bro. Fuck, I was like just lying in bed and you rang me. And you're like, fuck, I just tried to commit suicide. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Proper rattled me, eh? Like, and you're just like, bro, can you just please not tell anyone?
Yeah. I tried like, yeah, I remember like going straight to you, and then like, yeah, bro, my dad picked me up the next morning because he's like, where are you? Like freaking out. Like my phone was just blown up. And I had to wait because I had to wait for the psychologist and stuff. So I was there for hours. The psychologist talked to me, like diagnosed me with schizophrenia and stuff. They like told me I needed to go to the PsyWard, I think they called us.
Yeah.
Some like mental health institution. And like I just started freaking out, bro. I was like, fuck, I can't do it. Like I don't want to be in one of those places. Like I'd rather die. But anyway, my dad picked me up.
Did you tell your dad straight away? Yeah.
I was like, he called me. He's like, where the fuck are you? I'm like, Dad, like I tried killing myself. Like I need you to pick me up from the hospital. And yeah, I walked outside, and then my dad was waiting in the car, and I opened the door, sat in the car, and my dad just like looked at me, and this is the second time I saw him cry, and he's just like, what are you doing, son? Like, what the fuck are you doing? And I was just like, I don't know. And I just like put my head down, and then I could just hear like a change of tone in his voice. And he's just like, what if? Like, what if you did it? Or like, what if you don't and you keep pushing? And at the time, like I was trying to make NRL, and he's like, fuck, you can make like footy, like you can do whatever you want. Like, and like, bro, my dad sacrificed his life for me. Like me and my dad have gone through like so much together. And bro, he's honestly like spent his whole life and sacrificed his whole life just for me. And like it fucking hurts me now thinking I'd legit try to end my life.
Yeah.
Like I can't imagine like how my dad would be without me. But yeah, bro, I just remember sitting in the car, and he just started bawling his eyes out, and I was like, fuck, like I need to like get my shit together. So I saw you the next day. We like fucking cried in the office, bro.
I remember that. I remember like I can't remember what I said, but I was just like, bro, I need you here. Like I don't know, like I've never really been in that situation before when someone like right in front of me is there, and I just remember like, fuck, just come here. I remember hugging you and you crying, and you're just like, oh, it's like the first time someone's hugged me in ages. And I remember dropping you off to the train station. When you walked in here today, like your demeanor's, because I always remember you used to walking through my office, and like I pay attention to the small things, but just the way you carry yourself now, like your shoulders are back, you don't wear a hat anymore. Like I remember when I could tell when you were sad, when your hat used to be on and you used to walk through and your head used to be down, you used to just plug away, man. But fuck, it was scary times, man.
Yeah. Like even with that, bro, like I just like didn't want to talk to anyone. Like going through depression and like suicidal thoughts, it's just like you sort of just want to be by yourself, but then you want to be around people, and you just don't know how to tell people. It's like for me telling you, bro, like that day was so hard for me. Like I was freaking out the whole time. I was like, fuck, how am I going to tell him? Like,
and then we were all trying to pretend like nothing was happening too,
bro,
eh?
like we had to like, we were just working the whole day anyway. Cause like, just trying to get my mind off things. Cause you gave me like 2 days off or whatever it was. And bro, I just remember like all the boys were just acting all sweet and shit. And I was like, fuck. But I remember when I was young, bro, like after the situation with my mum, basically my dad always told me like, always smile no matter what. So like, I'm just like, I don't know. I feel like the most happiest people are always the one with like, I don't know, they're like the saddest people.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
It's like to hide it. But yeah.
And you just sort of felt like you were that person?
Well, yeah, like I got like, cause I remember everything like later on in my life. I just remember him saying like, always smile. And yeah, I just thought, fuck, if I always smile and just be like a happy person, like no one will know.
Bro, that's the big trap that's happening within Australia, man. Like the most saddest people are the ones pretending to be the happiest. So, bro, scary thought. I remember we always sort of have these like really one-on-one chats in the office. But the thing that you said, like for the first probably 2-3 weeks, I didn't tell anyone. I remember just lying in bed and I used to always think like, fuck, if I wake up in the morning, I'm just waiting for a text from someone that knows you. They're saying like, you've committed suicide. And I remember we used to leave on Friday, and I used to just go, fuck, I'm gonna see that guy again,
bro,
which
scary.
is a scary
like,
thought,
is,
bro. Yeah, because you'd only been here for a couple months too, so I was just like, fuck, I don't know, man.
Well, like
I don't even know how to word it now because it's still like when I think about it, bro, like get like goosebumps and shit. But it was a scary time, and bro, one of the guys that helped me out was Scope, man. Honestly,
oh really?
Yeah, I was just like, bro, like I was carrying this on. I can't imagine what you were going through, but I was carrying this, and then obviously Jacka was going through her stuff, Simi was going through her stuff, and he was just kind of my first sort of outlet, and he was the first guy I told too. And obviously I'll let you know before I told him, and you were sweet, and we just kind of like, fuck, everyone just needs to look after Caleb here. And I remember he used to come through, and you couldn't sleep, but you could sleep, you could knock out 6 hours here or upstairs, and you go, this is the only place I feel safe.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, fuck, go sleep, man.
It was crazy, bro. I just couldn't sleep, and like I still can't sleep to this day. I don't know what it is, but yeah, bro. Like you and Natasha really helped me out, like getting Anthea, the counselor, or the psychologist. Yeah, I don't really like seeing people as well. And
is it easier to talk to someone that you know about what you're going through,
yeah,
or someone you don't know?
I reckon it's easier to talk to someone you know. Like when I was in high school going through suicide, I had my 2 teachers.
I remember you talking about them with,
bro, they fucking changed my life. Like I've got a mad video idea for them. Like it's just so cool. Like I've always had different mentors, like different parts of my life. So in high school, I had my 2 teachers, Miss Catrotti and Mr. Durham. And like Mr. Durham be listening to this now, bro. But yeah, those guys saved my life in high school. Like I went through so much shit. And then like when I lost them, I started just like going downhill again.
Yeah.
But then I had you and I was like, fuck, I'm going back up. And then like you started teaching me like the ways of life and shit like that. You started like I started experiencing new things I never experienced, and that like people would like take photos with me and stuff like that. I was like just starting to get happier and happier, and I was like, fuck, life's actually amazing.
Remember that time I got Kaylin to follow you?
Yeah, bro.
We were just sitting in the office one time, and I knew how much you love Kaylin Ponga, and I messaged Kaylin. I was like, hey, bro, this guy's the biggest fan. Do me a favor and just follow him. And I just remember you looking at your phone like crying straight away. Like, no way. You've obviously done some, like Kaylin's a man, but you've done some crazy things since then. But like, I don't know, I've just got all these fond memories of like everyone that's been here. Like I know it hasn't been perfect, and people that have left, and I can't control that, or I could control some of them, but I just think of those last 2 years. It was just so much fun.
Bro, honestly, it was amazing. Like, bro, there's just like, I don't know, we had the best time. But then it's like, life's not always meant to be fun. Like, you have to go through the struggles and shit.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you have to understand the ebbs and flows of life. And what I've sort of figured out lately over the past, like, and I'm still learning now, like, is one thing I loved about you, Caleb, is like you used to always come to the office and like have a pen and paper and just ask questions and write shit down and implement. I didn't reckon all the boys always took advantage of, like, I think they learnt on the go, you know what I mean? Where you were actively going like, oh, how can I get better? Or can this be better? Or what do you do here with money? Or like, you know what I mean? We used to always have those types of conversations, which I really enjoyed. And obviously it's helped you now, but that's one of my favorite things about you, bro.
Well, bro, it's funny. Like, I remember you used to tell me to write 5 goals and I couldn't do it. Bro, I can write fucking like 30 goals right now. Like, I want to be a multi-millionaire by the end of the year. I want to like get 1 million followers. I want to grow my YouTube. I want to be like posting travel content. I want to travel the world. Like, I've got so many goals now. It's like, bro, I couldn't even write one back in the day.
Just sitting there going, yeah.
But
you'd be surprised, like a lot of the boys couldn't, because they used to always have like goal setting meetings and one-on-one meetings with the boys. And I'm like, bro, like, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And I feel like I used to always try and push it on them, and maybe that like sort of scared them off a little. And just because I'm like, what I've sort of figured out, just because I'm a certain way doesn't mean everyone else should be, and you'll figure this out as you get older. But yeah, but you were always that sort of keen one. I remember next day, probably about a week later, you had about 20 goals, and I'm like, no, like squeezing down. Let's just focus on one thing at a time, because you got time. You were 18. Yeah.
But it's cool, bro. Like I remember you saying like, we talked about like my goals, and I was like, oh, I want to make like 30K, and you're like, fuck, you got to be realistic. Like you make like this amount here, blah blah blah. I was like, no, fuck, I can do it.
I think we used to always try and like the way I used to set goals with you is just try and reverse engineer it. So it would be like, oh, if you're doing this here, we need to be doing like you need to be freelancing and outsourcing there, and then calculate backwards. Where like a lot of people don't set goals like that.
No,
it's just like
though.
boom.
Like you taught me how to like go into detail with it. So
and it's always asked that next question is like, what's next? What's next? What's next?
yeah.
So like I find. And what I found with staff recently is, even if I ask that next question, they don't necessarily always know. But I feel like you always would have a crack. Like you just try and figure it out, and then you'd go away and you come back and you're like, "Fuck, this is my plan." And it was always sick, bro. It was cool to see. I always said you wouldn't be here forever. Remember that? I was like,
yeah, I do. Yeah,
I thought you'd just be backflipping in Hawaii and shit like that. So I kind of knew your time wasn't here. I thought you'd be here for a couple of years, but fuck, you gone and killed it, bro. So I'm so proud of you.
Well, bro, like the reason I left, bro, I just couldn't sleep, and then like. I did ask for the pay rise and stuff, and like it didn't work out. I do have your quote written on my room though. You wrote, "You're not worth that much."
Yeah, probably.
It's like,
and probably to be fair, Caleb, at the time you probably weren't. Just from what you were doing here, and it was kind of hard because like what I used to say to you was like you could get the content was so good would have come out, but it's just sort of the Monday to Friday and like rocking up late. And I seen the content you done with that other guy, and he goes, one of my biggest values is rocking up on time when you guys are over in London. So it was just more
late with him.
Yeah, it was just more so like talent wise, you were definitely there, but I was just at the time I was just trying to build this team environment, and like that, like you said, that quote's there, and look here now.
Yeah, like bro, I've got a lot of quotes, like because you gotta remember I got dropped from Parramatta too. It's like I felt like everything was just coming on me. Like you always said things happen in threes, and then I fucking crashed my car straight after that as well. Lost my license. But yeah, everything just started like going up and downhill. Like it was just like, fuck, what do I do? Like it was the biggest roller coaster. And then yeah, bro, I just remember like I just got so tired of like catching the train and then like coming here.
Sure.
It's sort of like I felt like we were sort of doing the same thing over and over.
Yeah.
Like towards the end when I left. So I was, and like all these like other people were making like so much more money. And it was because of you, like I met these other people that were making money. So it, like opened my eyes up and stuff. And I remember you telling me, bro, it's in my documentary actually, I quoted it. You told me like when you quit footy, you felt like a bird being freed from a cage. So I was like, when I quit here, bro, I genuinely felt like I was a bird. Like I felt like I was going into nature and shit.
Love that.
Like I had the best time here. Like there was a lot of ups and downs and shit. But when I left, man, I was like, fuck, like feels like I just left school again. Like on to the next chapter. Like
fuck, that's exciting. So you left YKTR. What was the first thing you did?
Bro, the first month I made 15K straight. Like
off the bat.
Bro, I just like booked a bunch of shoots. Like I was messaging the fuck out of people. Like I had a plan, I had a goal, and I'm so motivated now, bro. It's crazy. Like I genuinely can't sleep because I just want to I want to give the life my dad deserves. I want to like live the life I want, like just freedom. I don't even want to be rich. Like money's fucking fake. Like money's just a tool to like get what you want. But
what do you want?
I just want to travel. I want to inspire. I want to like just make myself happy. So yeah.
Yeah, the happiness. We used to always talk about the happiness thing, like fuck, like a lot of I meet a lot of people who are successful and they are not necessarily happy. I've met people with no one, and they're like the happiest people in the world. And I sometimes, like even like say me now, like I used to work and I was always under stress and stuff like that. And I just look at someone like Scope who's just cruisy and just he always looked happy, Scope. So I was just like, sometimes you wish for that life, but then I think you're like me, where we honestly, always crave the bigger thing too.
Yeah, like that's another thing. Like I love the boys, but sometimes it was just so chill. And like, you know what it's like, bro. You always want to be like surrounded with people that have like motivated all the time and shit. Like I hang out with like my photography mates. I hang out with like my podcast crew and stuff. And bro, we're just always trying to like elevate and like level up.
Sick.
And like the chats we have is like always like this. It's always like how to like grow and stuff. Like I don't chill anymore. Like I have my two like best mates that are tradies. I don't go out really. Like I've gone out once this year.
You never really drink. You've never been a drinker or anything anyway.
I don't really know. But yeah, bro, I'm just like so driven, and like you hang out with positive people, you're just going to be a positive person. I remember you telling me all this shit. And bro, I honestly didn't know back in the day. Like I've written it all out, but now that I'm getting older and like hearing it from other voices and stuff, it's just common sense. Like
fucking
just like, yeah.
All right. So you sort of leave YKTR, how do you end up filming for Andrew Tate?
Yeah. So basically I was posting on Instagram like
that's
every
crazy.
day.
Yeah. I'm just trying to like comprehend it now, but that's fucking so
I met a
crazy,
lot of people,
bro. Yeah.
I met Donald Trump too.
Did you?
No.
I'm like, holy shit, bro.
No. No, basically, I was I was filming every day, just like pumping content out. Like I was lighting my hands on fire, shit. You know how it is, getting hot chicks in. But yeah, I was posting every day, and one of my reels got 5 million views. That was my news video. Basically, this guy from America, his name's Zach. He's been following me for ages, always messaged me and stuff, but like I didn't really know who it was. But he knew this guy named Luke Belmar, and I didn't even know who that was. But anyway, I was up at 4 a.m. like how it is, like just always up, like editing and shit. And he like FaceTimes me, this random guy. I was like, what the fuck? So I answered. He's like, hey, G, how are you, bro? I'm like, good, man. How are you? And he's like, basically talking. He's like, do you want to travel the world? I was like, get fucked. I was like, no way. Like, it was 2 months after I left YKTR.
Yeah.
This guy's like showing me his fucking like Lambo's house and shit. I was like, bro, this can't be real. And basically he just said like, yo, next week, G, let's go to Albania. We'll go all around Europe, take you to America and stuff. I was like, bro, done. Like, I've got nothing to lose. Like,
yeah.
That's the thing. Like,
You had a bit of cash backed up around,
yeah, bro,
around you
I
as
did,
well,
like,
so you're just ready to roll.
I was like, fuck it. Like, I got nothing to lose. And that's another thing back on living out west. It's like, you really don't have anything to lose when you live out west. I feel like in the east, you got more pressure on you because like your parents are like obviously like grown up rich and stuff like that, or like they've built to be rich. But anyway,
Do you know what I figured out about Bondi? Sorry to cut you off. Is like there's dudes that are actually got money, and then there's dudes that don't have money pretending to have money.
bro, yeah.
That's what
It's
I've
it's all
that's
over
what I've
Instagram
figured
and
out.
stuff, like,
Yeah, and Instagram obviously hidens everything. But
yeah, it does, yeah.
yeah, I get what you're saying though. But sorry, continue.
Yeah, so basically this guy like told me like get ready for the next week, had to like fill out all this shit. And then I was in Terrigal with like my photography mates. We were just chilling, and he calls me up at 12 at midnight. I was like, fuck. All right. He calls me, he's like, yo, bro, I just booked your flight. We're going tomorrow. I was like, oh fuck. So I was with a chick, bro. I drove from Terrigal, like went back home. Quickly, you know, did my business, and then she went home. And then I had like 6 hours of like, I had like 56 hours of no sleep. Had to like go to the shops, like buy a bunch of shit. So I spent like 6K on just like a bunch of shit, like
What are you
camera
buying?
gear,
Oh, camera stuff.
gear,
Yeah.
like clothes, just to look nice because I didn't want to look poor. Just like, you know how it is, like you want to
Impress,
yeah. And that was another thing I learned here, like how to dress better.
Who's your inspo? Simi?
No. Chico. No, I just like, honestly, Mitch has helped me out with like fashion stuff. But anyway, back on the topic, like,
Cool.
he flew me out. It was a 41-hour flight all the way to Albania. I was by myself, just meeting like a bunch of people on the plane. And I was just on the plane. I was like, I literally just sat there crying, bro. I was just like, how the fuck did I go from feeling nothing to all these emotions? Like, I was like, holy shit. Like, I literally felt like a nobody. And now I'm like, gonna make, like, I just believe in myself, bro. Like, I tell my students in my university all the time, if you believe in yourself that much, other people will believe you.
100.
Like, I told you I met Donald Trump and you believe me.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, it's just 'cause I believe in myself that much. It's like,
Yeah, I trusted you there.
no.
Yeah, so you end up in Albania. What happened?
Yeah, so I went to Albania, went to like fucking 10, 13 countries, went like all around, bro. I was like traveling every 2 to 3 days. And I was like, I was just filming, bro. And it was like the toughest job of my life. Like, it looked mad on social media, but like during the time I was like, I'm fucked. Like, I couldn't sleep. I was just jet lagged every day. We did like 12-hour car trips and stuff. But bro,
Did you realize that life wasn't it? Like that
bro,
sort of.
it like the filming wasn't it, but like the lifestyle was it.
Oh, okay.
So this guy, like, he's fucking like rich. Like, there's rich, but then there's like rich. And like, bro, like every night having like $1,000 dinners, like $500 steaks and shit. And I was like, bro, this is what I want. Like, I literally got to live like a millionaire. And this was my next mentor. So it went from my school teachers to you to now Luke Belmar. And bro, this guy, like, there's levels to life, and there's like, bro, it's just like,
What does he do?
He did crypto and like e-com and stuff like that.
Oh, cool. How old is he?
27.
Oh, but young.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, you're young too, so he's
Yeah,
even,
yeah.
he's young as well.
But just his knowledge, bro, like he has a whole different perspective on life, and just like everything he said, bro, is just like every word he says is so like powerful. And yeah, bro, he was like probably the best person I could ever meet. Like, he just told me everything about life, how to make money, like just everything really, like how to dress, how to talk, how to like be confident. He's like, bro, if you can't control what's like in your body, then what do you control? And like when he told me that, he also told, like, his brother Nate told me this scenario, this metaphor, to be a walking Lamborghini.
Yep.
So it's like you walk into a room, like when you see a Lamborghini, it's like, fuck, everyone turns and looks. So be that person where everyone just like turns and looks at you because you smell the best, you look the best and shit like that. So yeah, this guy basically like showed me how to live like a millionaire. Told me like the Matrix shit. I'm not really into that. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
Because like I can't do anything anyway, but he told me all the Matrix stuff. And then we're in Croatia. We're meant to meet Tate at the yacht party thing, but we fell asleep, bro, and we didn't wake up. So we're like, fuck, like we just fucked ourselves up. But then he messaged Tate and he's like, yo, can we like come around and like still like do our thing? And he's like, yeah, sweet, come to Romania, G. And like we went to his house, bro, for 4 days. It was crazy. Like,
How does the top G live day to day? Give us a run through.
oh, well, like when I was there, bro, like when I first met him, he was at the computer just working, bro, doing like playing chess, emails. He was on Zoom doing like a bunch of shit, eating food. Like he had a bench press there, he's fucking benching out and shit, like doing push-ups and stuff. Like when you like think of a movie, like this guy's living in a movie. Anyway, like, bro, I just saw him. I was like, this guy can't be real. Like he's a fucking statue, bro. Like,
Is he big?
yeah, he's like 6'3", muscly as. Like,
Yeah.
it's so weird seeing him on phone and then seeing him in person. So it's like the same effect I had with you to now Tate. I was like,
Bro, but like at that time when you were seeing him, he was like,
it was like the perfect time.
yeah, he was like the biggest,
Yeah,
like
it's
most
perfect.
searched person in the world. Like,
I didn't even I didn't just meet Andrew Tate. I met his brother. I met Luke. I met Fresh and Fit podcast, and I met Sneeko. So all these guys have massive followings, bro. And I like every chance I could when I had my camera down, I would ask him like the deepest
Sick.
questions. And bro, just like, you know me, like I read him down straight away. But I remember asking Tristan, like we're sitting outside, we're drunk as because he got me on like fucked up on this Romanian shit. And we're sitting outside. I was like, bro, like I told him my whole past. I was like, what do I do? And he's like, bro, I do not give a fuck. He doesn't give a fuck. You don't even give a fuck. Like you're living in the past. If you live in the past, you're going to be depressed. If you live in the future, you're going to be anxious. If you live in the present, you're going to be happy and you're going to live a life and you're going to like fulfill your dreams and shit.
and that changed everything for you.
Bro, when he said that, I was like, holy shit. Like, because I thought like footy was everything. But then when I stopped playing footy and saw the real world, I was like, footy's nothing. Like, it actually isn't. And I saw this whole new world and I was just seeing like all these rich people, all their cars. Like he has 27 like supercars in the front of his house. He's got fucking like bulk cash just everywhere. He's got guns and shit in the house. Like 40 chicks were like around. I was like, this dude's like living the life. Like,
So when you looked at that lifestyle and like, is that something you wanted to attain?
bro, 100%. Like just living in it. I come back to Australia and I was like, what the fuck? Coming back to my shit house. And I was like, nah, I got to do something about this. But
So you hanging around a super group of successful people who elevated success. What was sort of the common characteristics that you picked up? Because you know, like everyone's like success is built off habits and routines and characteristics. What were the best things you picked up from hanging around those sorts of guys?
bro, honestly, healthy body, healthy mind. Like Luke would make me, because I took my shirt off in front of Luke and that. They're like, bro, you're the fattest here and you're the youngest. What the fuck? Like, I'm not even fat. Like, I'm just like a bit fucking skinny fat. And
Yeah, you got a bit of skinny fat about you. Eh?
yeah, fuck. I'm working
Hanging
on
around
that.
us, that's why. Not
Yeah,
Mother's
that's-
crew.
That's why we're getting sandwiches and shit all the time. But he's like, he made me so insecure, bro. And like, I thought you were tough. And I'm so glad I had tough conversations with you because this guy was like fucking like next level tough, bro. Like, he didn't give a fuck. He would tell me shit straight up. Like, that's one thing I recommend you to do. Like, as much as it hurts people and like other people like to receive things different ways, being straight up to someone is the best way, like, that I learned. And like, bro, this guy would like be like, nah, you're fat, like, eat healthy. Bro, he'd make me like eat clean. He'd make me do like 50 push-ups a day. And like, it's just like everything. And he's like he just asked me like, why do you wake up? Like, why'd you wake up today? Like, why are you doing this? He would always ask why. He's like, why'd you eat chocolate? Why didn't you eat nothing? Or like, why didn't you go to the gym? Like, he would just always ask everything into detail. And yeah, that was a big habit that I've learned and I'm like doing every day now, is just asking why every day. And like why I do things. So like, why am I going to eat this? Why am I going to do that? I feel like that's really important. And that's why a lot of successful people become successful, is because like they always have a purpose every day and they know what they're waking up to do. So
And they're excited to get up. Hey, like remember my sort of core philosophy in life is, am I excited to get up every single day? And like I have down days, and everyone, I'm sure those guys would have down days too. Tate's in prison at the moment, so he's going through it. But like, if you just sort of know where your sort of North Star is, and I think you figured your one out right now, you just want to inspire people and help people. It just makes getting up every day a lot easier.
bro, the best thing I got out of the trip, we're in like a group. It was like a mastermind. So there's like a bunch of like millionaires, billionaires and shit. Like a lot of like so many people, bro. You have no idea. Like I've got so many connections around the world now. And basically we're in a group and like everyone knew I was a poor kid that like from Blacktown, Australia and shit. Like they were calling me the Aussie boy, whatever. And we're in a group and like someone asked me, oh, Caleb, like what's your goals? And I was like, I want to be a multi-millionaire. Bro, everyone laughed except for Luke. And I was like, holy fuck, like this guy knows I'm being legit. And I remember like, I was like, why didn't you laugh? And he's like, because I know you will, G. Like being rich isn't just like working hard. It's a mindset. It's like you don't have to have money to be rich. He's like, rich is just like money. It's just a tool. So like, yeah, when he told me that, bro, I was like, fuck, really like changed my perspective.
Still have sad days?
Honestly, bro, like it sounds fucked, but I love being sad.
Why?
It just like, I don't know, like just because I have so many voices in my head, I overthink all the time. Like I have so many happy days because like I can genuinely do whatever I want every day. And like I'm seeing all these hot girls, like I can travel whenever I want. I'm inspiring people. Like I get messages all the time now about like helping people with their mental health. So I'm like, I'm always happy. So like sometimes I just like when I'm by myself, I just love being sad just to like, just remember where I'm from and just reflect.
Do you talk to anyone about any of your stuff or have you found
bro,
just opening up is just been enough?
Honestly, opening up on podcasts, opening up on my podcast, like just genuinely inspiring people just like makes me feel good, bro. Like talking about this now, like I was stressed out before, but I feel so good now. Like
you feel lighter, don't you?
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Even when I done that take on Scope, like obviously you've seen many sides of me and I've been hard on boys for probably good reason, but I just remember sitting in front of that camera and I just remember crying and afterwards I felt lighter. Like, and like you said, it's not, you're not comfortable putting out those types of content, but like the feedback you get from them is usually like helpful and you don't realize who you're inspiring. We've always said that,
Yeah.
Once you hit enter, it goes out into the world. You just don't know where it's going to go.
Exactly, man. It's crazy.
What's the craziest message you've received from someone?
Oh, bro, honestly, I get like, there was a time I got over like 600 DMs in a day and I was just going through them all. And this guy's like, oh, hey, bro, like just saw you screaming in the car video. Like I'm 49 years old. My wife killed herself and like sent me the photo. And I was like, fuck, like it's sort of like, I love it, like helping people, but like shit like that's like sort of hard to take because you don't know like what to actually do.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I just reflected on you. I was like, fuck, like I've done that to my dad. I've done it to Ice. I've done it to like my whole family. So it's like, how can I help this guy?
And same thing, but I've had heaps of messages over the years and like guys, like I was lying on the train tracks and I was listening to your podcast and it's scary, And like, it's hard, bro, because like, I don't have the answers for it. Like,
well, like you used to say, like they know you, but you don't know them. So it's like, how are you going to like help this person?
Yeah.
I guess it's just keep posting the content. Like
that's the thing I used to get out of it. I'm like, shit, someone's relying on me. I just need to keep living life to my truest self. And I know you talk about hanging around high individual people, but I think the best thing you can get out of life, and especially if you're in a space like us, who guys who make content, is when they meet you in real life, they're like, oh, you're exactly the same as you are on content. And you'd hang around plenty of people who aren't. But bro, my biggest advice to you is just keep being you, man. And the world will come to you. The world's already come to you very quickly. And there's going to be more opportunities that keep coming and it's exciting for you. But there's also going to be plenty of bad opportunities that come too, because you're going to attract really bad things and people are going to try and take advantage of you, steal from you. But you're a smart kid. I think you'll figure it out,
Well, bro, I got like 6 people working for me at the moment. So like,
yeah, that's exciting.
I've got like my sales team. I'm about to get a marketing team. I'm about to get an admin person. I've got like editors and stuff. And like, I don't know if I've told you, but I made my first 100K month last month.
Awesome.
Yeah, it was good, bro. And like, I'm happy to talk about it because like I'm literally like made from nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like you can do like anything and anyone can make money. And that's another thing Luke actually told me is like live life like a video game. You just need to figure out how to play it. So like live it like GTA where like you start with no gun and you're like rank 0 with no money. You just got to like do the missions and like buy new clothes to level up your character, like travel the world to like unlock new skills, read books and shit like that.
Yeah.
So,
fuck, that's crazy. So much fun. I'm so excited for you, bro.
Bro, I'm excited. I'm excited for you too, man.
Yeah, I'm back on my own now, so it's kind of good. Like Luke, sort of said, he goes, bro, you've spent so much time on other people. This is just probably a lesson you'll learn with staff, bro, and I'll probably can pass this on to you now because just try not to get too emotionally involved into them. Like you pay them to do a job and you can respect them and you can treat them well. You can do everything you can, but just keep a bit of a distance because like you know, bro. everyone changes and they're supposed to change, and people are going to hang around you, get inspired by you, then they're going to take off as well. And bro, the biggest lesson I can give is just trying to get too attached, because bro, it hurts. Like, it hurt me when you left, just because like
It's like a
we just
breakup.
been through so much,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
You know what I mean? I was like, fuck, I'm gonna miss this little cunt. And then and like these are the lessons I've learned, and you bro, honestly take that advice, and you're gonna be great anyway, bro. So, bro, what's next?
What's next?
Double down, keep going.
Yeah, right now just gonna get my doco out. I'll do that speech eventually for my school. I want
That's
to.
scary. Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah. But like once again, like inspiring people. Like there'll be a kid out of the 1,600 kids. There'll be one kid in there
That's what we need, bro.
that will need that. Because like, fuck, I remember a guy spoke in our school that I needed at the time. I think it was Matt Moylan actually.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Matt Moylan come in the time. It was like the first time seeing an NRL player. And and like it was cool to like hear him talk. So I was like, fuck, if I can be that guy, it's like, but it's just crazy, bro. Like I've had all these dreams. Like I've always wanted to be on this podcast. I always wanted to talk in front of my school. I wanted to meet Tate. Like I want to be like rich. I wanted to travel the world. Like I wanted to give like the Jay Alvarez vibes. And bro, I'm just like doing it. And it's like, you can like do whatever you want in life. Like,
Fuck, it always makes me so happy, bro. Yeah, honestly does, man. I'm just so proud of you. Bro.
I've changed a lot, huh?
Yeah, fucking oath. Like, it's been like year and a half, 2 years, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, you've moved so quick, and I don't know. It's cool to see, bro. I'm pumped for you. All right, my friend, thanks for jumping on. Reach out if you need anything. Obviously, you got bigger mentors now, but I can always help you.
Thank you, man.
All right, bro.